Hey there, my name is Roman. I'm a college student who, for the last 4 months, has worked as a Doordasher to make an income. In my last video, I explained how to Doordash and some tips that have helped me in my dashing, but in this video, I'll be giving a few stories of my strangest encounters with customers and Doordashes gone wrong. Like any job, Doordash comes with its minor annoyances, such as Siri not telling me when to turn, or walking into a restaurant and getting the "sorry, there's a wait," and then having to wait for 30 minutes for an order, or the app crashing, and then I'm stuck in traffic, followed by a Karen in the chat feature asking, "Where the heck is my food?" Or the order gets canceled right as you walk into the store, right after circling the building for 10 minutes trying to find out where the dang place was because it was under the name Magma Meltdown for some reason instead of Donnie's, which doesn't even make any sense. But then you call up Doordash and the workers have a really thick accent because they're probably all working in India where all the call centers in the world exist. This isn't to discourage you from Doordashing though. Most customers are nice, understanding people. Doordash policies help to compensate for lost time, and overall it's just an adventure getting to drive around. It's also really nice not having a manager breathing down your neck. With all that said, without any further ado, story time. Story 1 is about the customer who didn't really seem to want his food. I went to T. Perry's to grab a double order, which means I was delivering to 2 houses, and weirdly enough, the houses were 2 minutes apart from each other, but the drop-off time was the same time. So I drive over to the first person's house, but I missed my turn, so I had to turn back around to get to the first house. I drop it off, and then get a message from the second house saying, "I see you on the map, and it looks like you're turning around, you're not going in the right direction towards my house." And I told them that they were the second order, that I had to deliver to another house first, and they say, "Well, that's not fair. I wanted my food first." And I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do for you? I'm thinking, you're at the mercy of a DoorDasher. I could decide to eat the food and not bring it to you at all. Now, I wouldn't say that, obviously, because that's how you lose your job. But I told them, "I'm sorry about that, and I'll be there really soon." I walk up to the door to apologize in person and knock to no answer. So I left the food on the customer's doorstep and walked away. Upon driving away, the food was still there on the customer's doorstep. A curious thing when he made it sound so dire that he needed his food first. Story 2, the guy who didn't order wings. So I was picking up a double order from Pizza Hut when the manager said that the second order had been canceled. So I took the first order and made sure it got delivered, wouldn't let me cancel without having delivered it in person. After having delivered the first order, I sat in my car for a while talking to DoorDash, and DoorDash said they would call the store to confirm that the order was canceled, and they called me back and said the order was in fact at the store. So I had to drive all the way back to the store, and the manager at the store said, "Sorry, we don't know what you're talking about. We don't have the order. But since this person's probably been waiting forever, I'll go ahead and throw it in the oven for you." After spending a good 20 minutes at the store, I took the order to the person's house and knocked on their door. But when they came out, my encounter with the customer went a little bit like this. DoorDash for Chad?
Oh man, I canceled that and then I just fell asleep on the couch, so I...
Gotcha. Do you still want it?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah. Appreciate it. I think you're supposed to pay me cash.
Dude, I said I canceled.
The manager from the pizza place gave me his personal number so that I could let him know how the dash went afterwards. And when I told him, he said, "Dang, bro, I would have just kept the food for myself." And then he hung up. For this particular order, DoorDash promised that I'd be paid $20 in cash, and I did not receive any of that. But fast forward about a week later, and I'm DoorDashing to a new neighborhood that doesn't quite have everything in Apple Maps yet, so I have to call up DoorDash to help me find out where the address is. And before I get off the phone with them, they say, "Is there anything else we can do to help you?" And I think back to a week before when I got cheated out of $20, and I say, "You know what? There is." And I tell them the story, and then they inform me that you can be refunded 50% of what you were promised for a canceled order. They then proceeded to refund me, which made my day. Story 3. It's from Larry. I'm going to Taco Bell to get an order when I get a message from the guy saying, "Deliver to this address instead, and tell them it's from Larry." Okay, so I pick up the order and drive to the person's house, and I became a little nervous once I got to the house due to a sign on the front door that said, unless you're UPS, FedEx, or Amazon, get the hell off my property. Yeah, so I knocked on the door, and the person says, "I think you're at the wrong address." And I told them what the address was, and they said, "Well, that's my house, but I didn't order any food." And so I said, "Well, they said it was from Larry." And the person inside said, "I don't know a Larry, and I didn't order any food, so you can keep the food." So then I went back to my car and feasted for about 5 minutes. I don't know who Larry is, but I got paid to eat Larry's food. Larry, if you're out there, that lady didn't want your food, but personally, I will say I enjoyed it. So, thanks. DoorDash has been a lot of fun for me. I've gone on a lot of adventures and learned about places in my town that I didn't even know existed. The flexibility has been really helpful with my college school schedule, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody looking for a part-time side hustle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.